See, this is why we say that this generation is full of so much lust. Make sure y'all push that like button, push that subscribe button. This bro X, the real life X-Men. Man, we let people know, bro, that this generation is so full of lust. You could tell by the women. You could tell by how the men are acting over the women. You probably say, well, this been going on for centuries. Yeah, but it's getting worse and worse with our generation. Why? Because back in the days, these women have had a modesty where they will keep this stuff hidden. Now, if it was going on, they had it hidden. But this generation, they letting everything hang all out. They don't care who watching. They don't care who looking. It's like, bro, everybody is showing out for the internet. So a lot of women, they don't know, bro. This is one way to spot if somebody has a seducing spirit, is the way they dress. So if a woman is dressed up and she has clothes that's revealing on her body, she got makeup, lipstick, 2 earrings, wearing spandex, see-through clothes, sequins, wearing all this different stuff that's revealing to her body. Even at the gym, a lot of these women, they go to the gym, they putting on these tight outfits, and all the time they doing it for a show, to show out their body. Well, don't you know, when you begin to put on these different outfits, you are playing with a seducing spirit that's gonna seduce a man. You probably say, well, I'm not trying to seduce no man. Well, your outfit show says different. So we letting people know like this, bro. Make sure that if you're gonna be trying to find a wife, you gotta know what type of wife you finna find. And you probably like, well, down the line, she might could cheat on me and change the way she was acting from the beginning. Yeah, that could happen. But me, I got married at 19 years old. I got married to a PK, which is a preacher's kid. And I'm thinking, well, I'm going to church. I'm about to find a good woman that's going to try to help me serve God. But all the time, I end up getting married to somebody who was a harlot, who was already promiscuous before I knew her. She was already messing with multiple men and hiding it. So when next thing you know, I got married to her. I had a dream, and I brought it to the people, and I was like, man, I had a dream that I married this girl. Well, this girl, she was pregnant. And you probably like, well, that was your fault for marrying somebody that was pregnant. Man, I really feel like, yeah, that was my fault. But when you young and you having dreams and you trying to follow your dreams, you thinking this is what God got for you. So I end up marrying this lady. End up having a child that wasn't mine. The child wasn't mine because she was already pregnant. Well, later on down the line, I end up having a child with her. And well, don't you know, that woman, she left me with the child that she had and with the new child that I had. She left me and ran off. Now, I was kind of messed up with that. I'm like, man, how in the world you get married to a woman, she end up leaving you with the kids? So to make a long story short, man, this woman, she wanted to serve the devil. She wanted to serve sin. She wanted to commit whatever acts of sin that she felt like she was missing out in the world. And she went and did that. I accepted her back. Well, when I accepted her back, I thought, well, maybe she gonna come to church and get her life back right with God. Maybe people make mistakes. Next thing you know, she ran off with another man. And when she ran off with another man, she ended up getting pregnant by this other man. I didn't know if it was my child or the man's child. I didn't know. But she came back. Next thing you know, the child was born. The child was the same color as my other daughter. So I'm thinking, well, maybe the child was my child. Man, go down the line. She ended up messing with somebody that I brought to church. After she messed with the guy that I brought to church, she ended up taking all 3 of the kids and going to stay with him. Next thing you know, she came back to church and ended up sleeping with somebody else that I brought to church. So to make a long story short, man, this woman that I had married found out she was a straight whore, straight filthy-minded woman, and it's almost like she was slow, because during the time that I know her, she done ran through about 8-9 men. Now, at some time you probably like, well, is she just freaky, or does she got something wrong with her mind? I really don't know. It wasn't up for me to sit there and to sit back and think on. I had got a maternity test and coming to find out that that third child wasn't mine. So, man, it's like this. You could be trying to find you a woman and thinking, well, I'm going to find her at church. Man, all the good women don't be at church. You might go to the church and try to pick a woman and end up with a prostitute. You might go to church and think you finna end up with a good woman and end up with a woman that want to sleep with all the church members. So that's what happened to me. I got married to this woman. She ended up sleeping with church members before I knew her. Ended up sleeping with church members while I was with her. And when she got to the world in the street, she was sleeping with multiple men. Ain't no telling how many other men she done ran through. But I'm glad I got away from that woman. See, when them women start showing you who they are, you got to get away from them. Man, God showed me a dream that she had a pack of condoms in her purse and a pack of Marlboro 100 cigarettes. And I'm like, hold up. She don't smoke cigarettes. Well, don't you know? I followed her home from her job. I looked inside the car before she made it to where she was going. Guess what I seen? I seen a pack of Marlboro 100s and I seen the name badge of the guy she was messing with. She was messing with the manager at the Walmart. So God had already showed me a dream that this woman wasn't no good. Then somebody else came and told me, say, man, I had a dream that your wife had like a spider web and she was getting you trapped up in it. So it's like, bro, God starts showing you the signs before it be up to you to receive it or reject it. So I thank God for my daughter that I had for her, but I end up having a dream that I was taking care of them kids and I ended up with a bag full of trash. But God showed me all that what you doing is going to, amount to nothing. So I'm like, God, why did I have the dream from the get-go that I was married to this woman? Why did I have the dream? Well, I found out in the Bible there's a man named Hosea. God let Hosea get married to a prostitute woman. And, you can go Google it and see why God made Hosea marry this woman. Well, sometimes God allow things to happen in your life to try you, to see if you're going to love him, if you're going to stand for him. So my life could have been peaches and cream. I still could have been married to a faithful woman. But I guess the toughest soldiers go through the hardest trials. So make a long story short, man, you got to beware of all these evil spirits. You look at all these celebrities. I ain't even got to say their names. Just look at how they dressing. Look at their music. Their music is teaching people to commit fornication. Fornication is when a unmarried man get with an unmarried woman and they have sexual acts, and that's called fornication. They teaching men and women about adultery. Adultery is when a married man or a married woman cheat on a spouse. And Jesus even said, if any man look upon a woman to lust after her, he already committed adultery with her in his heart. So it's a lot of times, bro, you have to be careful because these spirits are moving around and they're trying to get you to lust after these women in your mind, so you can already have that adultery spirit with you, and it ain't gonna be hard for you to go out there and physically commit that sin. So beware of all these women, bro. See, you look at the woman named Jezebel in the Bible. Jezebel painted her face. She painted her face to seduce her servants. So it's like this. Look at these women this day and time. What they doing? They painting their faces. They wearing clothes to seduce. So you have to beware of this fornication, adultery, lust, these seducing spirits, these Jezebel spirits. And it ain't all the women's fault. It's the men's fault because they are not being strong like they supposed to. So if you go to a church and you see a woman, painted face, lipstick on, tight clothes, revealing her body, 9 times out of 10, that woman has a Jezebel, seducing, adultery, fornicating spirit, and that's what you're going to be getting in contact with. Well, you might find a woman that's tired of the lifestyle that she living and she don't want to do that no more. But a lot of women, bro, if they don't get delivered from them evil spirits, they going to end up doing that sin again and again and again and again, and they going to find an excuse for it. They going to look you in your face and say, well, ain't nobody perfect. But all the time, Jesus said, be ye therefore perfect, even as my Father in heaven is perfect. So we telling people you can be perfect. You can live free from sin. They don't want to do that in this generation and time. But we letting you know you can do this, man. So So it's like it take a lot for me to get up here and to open up my mouth and speak to a camera. You probably ain't nobody around, but somebody will be hearing that message. It might help somebody down the road. So man, make sure y'all follow my channel, press that like and subscribe button. We Broadway X, the real life X-Men.